Yep, we doing it again. Strap yourselves in, folks, because I'm about to get into it. The third most embarrassing moment in my life. Let's just get right to it. Okay, so let me set the stage. I have a little trouble remembering exactly when this was in my life. I think it might have been around 10 years old. The important thing to know about me relating to this story, though, is that I am diagnosed with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, which has manifested itself in various ways in my life up to this point. When I was a little kid in school, I was obsessed with order and rule following. If my teachers gave out an instruction to the class, I would make certain that everyone would follow it as closely as I was. One thing that absolutely drove me crazy is when students went out of the classroom to go somewhere, whether it be to the bathroom or lunch or to the gym, and the teacher made it very clear that we were supposed to go in a single file line. Unsurprisingly, because kids are kids, a lot of them often didn't follow this rule. Some went in pairs, some cut in front of other people, some lagged behind, and me being me, I would assign myself the powers of a dictator to try to make it so that no one ever stepped out of line, literally and figuratively. It was a source of great stress and derision for me. It somehow felt so important, though, at the time. I remember berating kids, treating them like they were horrible monsters for cutting in front of other kids in a line. Huh, you know, thinking back on it, honestly, I can really see why I barely had any friends as a kid. Hmm. Anyway, one day I just got completely fed up with all this single file chaos, so I decided to take matters into my own hands. Oh boy, I'm sure this will end great. When the class was walking through the hallway, I don't really remember where we were going, but whatever. The point is, there was one kid who got out of the line to stay behind and use the bathroom, and man, did that make my blood boil. I decided I was going to give him a piece of my mind. My teacher tried to kind of stop me, saying, she'd handle it and it would be fine, but there was nothing in the world that could stop me in that moment. Well, except for a block of concrete, that is. See, I just straight up grabbed the kid's hand and started forcefully dragging him back to the line. I did not care, and then, as if the universe itself was punishing me for being an authoritarian dick, while I was speed walking with the kid to get back into the line, holding one of his arms with one of my hands, and my other hand was outstretched, facing the wall, and I just slammed it into a concrete slab. The weirdest thing is, I wasn't even walking that fast. It was like brisk walking speed, and I was dragging someone else along. But me hitting my hand on that concrete slab was probably the most excruciatingly painful moment of my life. I'm not joking, more painful than when I was playing soccer and some guy kicked me in the hand with his cleats, more painful than when I fell headfirst off my bicycle onto the blacktop, more painful than when I had my head slammed onto a countertop, more painful than when a car door shut on my head, more painful than when I gashed my finger open on my friend's braces, more painful than when I sprained my ankle, more painful than when I fell on my back onto a concrete floor, more painful than when I ate that pill and had to go to the hospital, more painful than when I tried to do a backflip off the bleachers and scarred my back on the sharp edge. Honestly, it's a miracle I've never broken any bones. More painful than any of that, somehow, was me slamming my hand into a wall of concrete, going at 6 miles per hour. I mean, it's ridiculous. I cried out in agony. Me, the person who was trying to micromanage everyone else for stepping out of line, was in terrible pain. And again, it was like it's the thing that was most embarrassing. It wasn't even a cool injury. It was just me fucking walking down the hall and accidentally hitting my hand into the wall. It was ridiculous. Seriously. But I remember how much it hurt. I could not handle the pain in that moment. The weird thing is, it wasn't even freaking broken. It was just bruised. And days later, it wasn't even hurting anymore. Which of course made me look terrible because it made me seem like I was completely acting up and crying over nothing and blowing a minor injury way out of proportion. I'm pretty sure this also happened after the day where I pretended to, as I said before, make up an illness to try to get out of doing schoolwork. So again, it was probably just looked like to people that was what I was trying to do, the same thing again, or that I was just being a complete crybaby. But I remember, okay? I remember how much that moment hurt. It felt like my bones had been shattered. It hurt so much. I mean, honestly, it just goes to show you the human body, especially in development, is incredibly fragile, and if a certain body part hits a hard object in just the right way, or wrong way, I guess, it can be disastrous. Anyway, this was my video on the third most embarrassing moment in my life. I probably won't make another one of these. I think it's just best to leave this as a trilogy. But anyway, I have been the Aromantic Shipper. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you all next time. Bye.